think of the biggest issue facing Jewish education, they think about the prohibitive cost involved in sending your kids to Jewish schools. With costs approaching $20,000 per student in Jewish schools, families with lots of children just find it impossible to send their kids to Jewish school. One school, the Beit Rabban School in New York, along with the Avichai Foundation, has found a solution. Capping costs at 15% of gross income, they make it somewhat doable for families with lots of children. There's a well-known historical account of a Hashmonai city in Jerusalem in the works of Josephus. But up until now, history has remained in the history books. Recently, though, archaeologists have discovered a Hashmonai building in Jerusalem on the walls of the old city. Once again reminding us that Israel is a place where history comes alive. In a recent blog by Batya Minkin, a Yoetz Halacha, she makes the case that the lack of formal Gemara education in girls' education is causing major theological challenges. She said that many times the teachers and the students lack the background to answer their questions, which could easily be solved by having more Talmud studied in the classroom. She also says that there's a commonly held notion within the Orthodox world that women are incapable of having in-depth learning, which she says is just wrong. As a Yoetz Halacha, her role includes being an expert in Nida, family purity laws, and fertility issues. She says that most times the questions are just requiring a basic knowledge of Halacha, and once in a while a more in-depth knowledge. In this week's Parsha, we see that Reuven loses his firstborn status to Yosef, and some comment, including the Shem Mishmuel, that the thing that makes the firstborn status so elevated is the fact that that person has an independence that his other brothers and sisters do not have. And that's why it's fitting that Joseph is the one who has the firstborn status, because after all, he's the one who flourishes away from his family, away from his father's house, in a foreign land, naming his son Menashe because God helped me forget my father's house, or Ephraim because God made me fruitful in a foreign land, both of which are signifying this concept of being independent from his family. And when one takes that a little further, one can understand the value of that, because it's one thing to be great when everyone else around you is doing that, but it's a whole nother level to be great on your own, to stand aside from the crowd and to basically be a leader and to make change. And that's what Joseph did. And that's why the Medrash, when it talks about the forefathers of the Jewish people, it actually lists Joseph as the fourth forefather. Something to think about. Good Shabbos.